Well, good afternoon, West Ham fans, Russ and the West Ham Networks. Hope you're safe and well. Got my Nuno Espirito Santa jumper on today, and we covered the Nuno Espirito Santos's press conference a little bit earlier on today. Checked it out this morning. I had a bit of a thought piece about Bowen and how we need Bowen the talisman, not the captain at the moment. And we're going to do a little bit more analysis. But Statman Ben's done a few stats around and looked at his time as West Ham manager, captain, pre and post, pre and during, and to see if it's not just how we feel, but do the stats back it up? Are we getting a less at Bowen because he's the captain? Interesting. But we've got the world famous Hammers headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Don't forget to check them out in the description below. Don't forget, tomorrow we have got West Ham under 21s taking Atletico Bilbao under 21s at the Chigwell Construction Centre in the first game of our Premier League Invitational Cup campaign. So if you want to get down and see some European football for West Ham, get down and cheer on the boys tomorrow. We've got a few stories to talk about today. Not all transfer related, actually. We'll talk about outgoings first and talk about Niclas Füllkrug. And it does seem that the race to sign him in January is hotting up. We know that West Ham plan to accept offers for Niclas, whether it be in straight sale or the worst would be a loan of obligation with simple obligations to meet before purchasing rather than a dry loan. And then we had last week, week before, his agent, Torsten Wirth, he admitted that it made sense for Niclas to depart, and his move from Borussia Dortmund to West Ham hadn't worked out. And I think that's fair enough to say, hasn't worked out. Injuries have basically curtailed any form of momentum he's brought into the side. He seems, I thought over the summer he looked mean. He's looked lean rather. He looked fit. And so frustrating because I think he would have really wanted to do a job at West Ham and sort of right the wrong from last season, but he hasn't had the opportunity to do that at all. We spoke about Werder Bremen potentially looking at a move for Niclas Füllkrug. Eintracht Frankfurt were also looking and have been tracking his availability, although we're led to believe that's not going to happen for Eintracht Frankfurt, and they are looking elsewhere. Two other names have entered the arena to sign him, that being Hamburg and Augsburg. They've now entered the race to sign the striker in January. The clubs sit 13th and 14th respectively. So, for Niclas to get any chance of maybe getting the World Cup as well, he would need to ideally be playing Bundesliga football, I would suggest, rather than necessarily playing outside of the Bundesliga. So I'm pretty sure that will happen, and I'm pretty sure it'll end up being a loan with obligation rather than straight sale, in all honesty. But as we know, we will not be letting him go until a replacement has been sourced, and that replacement could be Franklino Duge. Now, according to reports, West Ham were in attendance at Michelin's 6-0 drubbing of Nordschlad FC. Nordschlad last weekend, but they were also joined by scouts from Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Everton, Bournemouth and Burnley were also present, and that's according to the news outlet Indicast. Everton will also be keeping a close eye on Michelin for the most part of the season as well, and it's all because of Franklino Duge. They've all taken a look at the striker, and it's stated that the Danish club has set a fee of 35 million euros for his signature, which I believe would be a Danish record, I think. And they also reported his agents trying to push for a transfer in the winter transfer window, while Michelin are looking at the summer for the deal. So it does seem that it seems we've got a couple of names in sort of the firing line, so to speak. One being Duge, one being Promise David. I think they're the two main targets we're looking at. Both different types of physical players. Duge is slightly more, I'll say petite, but not slightly more compact. Where Promise is obviously 6'5", is a bit of a unit of a man. So it wouldn't be surprised to see some significant moves for that. Obviously, we're coming to January now, which obviously means AFCONs, and I think the impact of the AFCONs is starting to filter through a little bit now. According to reports, obviously Aaron's been called up to the Congolese the 26-man squad for the AFCONs in Morocco, and it's basically the Aston Villa game on the 14th, the Billy Bonds tribute match, will be his last game before going out. So in essence, he's got 3 games left before he goes on his AFCONs. Man United away, Brighton away, and Aston Villa at home. In effect, he'll only play those games before he heads off for his first major international tournament. The AFCONs kicks off on the 21st of December, the final taking place on the 18th of January. So realistically, there is a possibility West Ham could be without Aaron and also Malik Diouf for up to 6 weeks if both of their sides reach the final. Obviously, we've got 𝗙𝗏 𝗙𝗎𝗓 currently the only fit fullback capable of covering both sides. And we believe Ollie is a couple of weeks away at least from being able to be on the grass, so to speak. So, yeah, it still leaves a run of, I'd say, 4, maybe 5 games over that Christmas period before any realistic new signings could come in. But also, it just means that we've got a real issue now. I think there's ways of looking at it. You can put certain people in certain positions, but I think the true impact is now starting to be felt. Now we're on the countdown until the AFCON start, and you would assume that Diouf would be around the same time. Probably after the Villa game, particularly it starts the following week in terms of the AFCON. So I would assume you'd see him leave at the same time. So yeah, it does put things a little bit into perspective, particularly over Christmas, a very busy time as well. Not only will you be having your 2 first choice fullbacks not available for the Christmas matches, but anyone that you bring in, apart from Kyle Walker-Peters, realistically would need to be up to speed and match fit and stuff like that, and we haven't got anyone match fit. Unless he decides to maybe, I don't know, go back to a back 3 maybe, and maybe Somerville on, I don't know, or Louis Guilherme maybe potentially as well. I think that needs to be need to have some addressment of that for sure, because that's going to turn around very, very quickly. Anyway, that's it, my friends. Don't forget to check out needsupnumberbrand.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. Don't forget to check out also our raffle description below to win a signed Julian Dix shirt just in time for Christmas. That runs another week or so get your tickets in. £5 a raffle ticket. However, there is also some multi-buy options as well. And that's it. Also go back and check out our video about Jarrod Bowen. I'll be really fascinated to hear your points. And what we might do is we're planning this sort of statistical follow-up video, and we're going to take some of the comments, I think, from that Bowen video and put them in and address them, maybe looking at some of that stats. Anyway, take care, stay safe, lay this potatoes, much love.